Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive
Mm,
into a world where reality takes a mythical detour.
I like that.
We are exploring the top 10 mythical beasts list today from the Top 10's website.
Yeah.
And what's really cool about this list is that it's entirely based on user votes and comments.
Oh, wow.
So we really get a peek into which creatures really captured the modern imagination.
That's a really fun way to kind of gauge the zeitgeist.
Yeah,
What are people thinking about these days? What really stands out
exactly.
in the world of myth?
So get ready for some surprising facts, hilarious comments.
Oh, I love a good, hilarious comment.
And maybe even a few friendly debates along the way.
Oh, I'm sure we'll have some disagreements.
Are you ready to dive in?
I am ready. Let's do it.
All right, so no shocker here at number 1, claiming the top spot with a fiery roar
Okay.
is the dragon.
Had to be the dragon.
I mean, who doesn't love a good dragon story?
Who doesn't?
The list describes it as a legendary creature, often with serpentine or reptilian traits, found in myths across the globe. But what makes dragons so universally appealing?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think they're not just about fire and fury.
Right.
Dragons embody this really fascinating duality.
Oh, interesting.
In Western cultures, they often symbolize chaos and destruction, like the fearsome Smaug from The Hobbit.
Oh, yeah, classic.
But in Eastern traditions, dragons are seen as these benevolent beings,
Oh, wow.
representing wisdom and good fortune,
Yeah.
even imperial power.
That's so interesting how a single creature can hold such contrasting meanings.
Yeah.
Now the comments are full of dragon enthusiasts.
I bet they are.
One user even asks, who doesn't want a giant flying fire-breathing beast as a pet?
Well, I think that speaks to the dragon's inherent power and majesty.
Yeah.
It's the creature that inspires both awe and fear,
Right.
making it a perfect subject for myths and legends.
Absolutely. All right, so from fire-breathing behemoths,
Okay.
we move to a creature of fiery rebirth.
All right.
Coming in at number 2, it's the phoenix.
Oh, the
The list describes it as a mythical bird from Greek mythology known for bursting into flames upon death
Right.
and being reborn from its ashes.
It's a classic.
But one user comment caught my eye, claiming that phoenix tears have healing powers.
Mm.
Is there any truth to that?
That's probably a more modern embellishment,
Okay.
but it makes sense thematically, right?
Yeah,
The Phoenix is all about renewal overcoming adversity.
right.
Think about the ancient Egyptians and their Bennu bird rising from the ashes,
Oh, yeah.
symbolizing the cyclical nature of life and death.
Yeah.
The Phoenix embodies that same concept of resilience and the promise of a new beginning.
So from flames, we plunge into the watery depths where the Kraken lurks.
Right.
Coming in at number 3,
Oh, the Kraken.
described as a legendary sea monster of giant size said to dwell off the coasts of Norway and Greenland.
Oh, wow.
The Kraken has some serious fans.
Right.
One user boldly claims the Kraken should be number 1.
Okay.
It's so kick-ass, tearing ships in two, and it's been proven to be real.
Oh, really?
Yep, the giant squid is the Kraken.
The classic Kraken versus giant squid debate.
Right.
Well, the giant squid is undoubtedly a real and awe-inspiring creature.
Yeah.
The mythical Kraken is often described as far larger and more monstrous,
Yeah.
capable of dragging entire ships to their doom.
Some users even argue that the Kraken could be 5 times the size of a giant squid.
Wow.
Is there any basis in mythology for a creature that large?
Well, the Kraken likely drew inspiration from sightings of giant squid and other large sea creatures,
Okay.
becoming exaggerated and mythologized over time.
Right.
The sea for centuries represented the unknown,
Right.
a place of both wonder and terror.
Yeah.
The Kraken embodies those fears, a colossal embodiment of the untamed forces lurking beneath the waves.
Speaking of untamed forces, our next mythical beast embodies grace and power in equal measure.
Okay.
At number 4, we have the unicorn.
Oh, the unicorn.
Described as notoriously hard to catch, the unicorn has long been associated with purity, innocence, and magic.
The classic.
The comments dive into their legendary powers, with one user mentioning that unicorn horns are said to be harder than diamonds.
Oh, wow.
And unicorn tears are believed to have the power to heal both physical wounds and sorrows of the heart.
Oh.
It's fascinating how the unicorn's symbolism has evolved over time.
It really is. In early depictions, they were often fierce and even dangerous creatures.
Really?
But in modern times, they've become more associated with grace, innocence, and magic,
Right.
particularly in fantasy literature.
Now, from the ethereal realm of the unicorn,
Okay.
we descend into the dark woods where a creature of primal fear awaits.
Ooh, I'm scared.
At number 5, it's the werewolf.
Well, werewolf.
This shape-shifting beast taps into our deepest anxieties about the duality of human nature.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
The werewolf myth delves into those dark, primal instincts that lurk beneath the surface.
Yeah.
The transformation from human to beast represents a loss of control,
Right.
the unleashing of a wild, untamed side.
The list describes werewolves as having the ability to shapeshift into a wolf or a hybrid wolf-like creature.
Okay.
And user comments add a layer of intrigue,
Oh, I like it.
sharing tips on how to repel these fearsome beasts.
All right, let's hear it.
One user mentions, werewolves dislike the smell of wolfsbane and will stay away if it's nearby.
Okay.
They also hate to be around objects made from silver or iron.
Oh, interesting.
I'm picturing a werewolf with a strong aversion to silverware.
Right. Silver, often representing purity, acts as a symbolic weapon against the beastly transformation.
Okay, from one fearsome creature to another at number 6,
Right.
we face a multi-headed menace.
The Hydra.
Oh, the Hydra.
This creature from Greek mythology is infamous for its regenerative abilities.
Right.
For every head cut off, 2 more grow back.
The classic.
The Hydra is a classic example of a monster representing insurmountable challenges.
I think so too.
Its ability to regenerate heads speaks to its resilience and the futility of conventional solutions.
Right, you can't just chop off its head. It's a creature that defies easy defeat, embodying the persistence of obstacles and the need for creative problem solving. One user humorously comments, "I wish the Hydra was my pet. I just want to cuddle with a spawn of Satan.
Wow.
I'd most likely die, but I want a Hydra. It's awesome."
Maybe not the best cuddle, buddy,
I don't think so.
but I appreciate the enthusiasm.
Right. And some users also point out the Hydra's connection to the Bakugan world, specifically the evolving Hydranoid.
That's a great example of how these mythical creatures can inspire and find new life in popular media.
Yeah.
It's a testament to the enduring power of these myths and how they continue to be reinterpreted and reimagined in contemporary culture.
Yeah, speaking of reimagining, our next creature takes us to the realm of majestic hybrids.
All right, I'm ready.
Welcome back, Myth Explorers.
Okay.
We're diving back into the top 10 mythical beasts list. And up next is a creature that's captured imaginations for centuries,
All right.
with its majestic blend of lion and eagle. Soaring in at number 7, it's the griffin.
The griffin is a fascinating creature, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It combines the strength and ferocity of a lion with the keen eyesight and aerial prowess of an eagle.
Yeah.
It's almost like a symbolic fusion of heaven and earth.
Exactly. The list describes it as having the body, tail, and back legs of a lion, the head and wings of an eagle, and an eagle's talons as its front feet.
Wow.
Now, one user shared a pretty vivid image that came to mind when they thought about griffins.
Okay.
Say, whenever I think of griffins, I always think of that one scene from the Chronicles of Narnia when that one griffin is turned to stone and falls out of the sky and dies.
That's a pretty powerful image, and it
Yeah.
speaks to how these creatures can become ingrained in our cultural memory through film and literature.
Yeah.
The idea of a griffin turning to stone, though,
Yeah.
is likely a Narnia-specific twist.
Okay.
In traditional mythology, griffins are known for their vigilance and guardianship,
Right.
often depicted as protectors of treasure or sacred places.
Okay, so from a guardian of treasures to a creature that could turn you into stone. Literally. At number 8, it's the basilisk. This legendary reptile is said to be the king of serpents,
Ooh.
possessing a deadly gaze that can kill with a single glance.
Wow.
Now, one user had a rather unique idea for a home security system,
Okay.
saying, "A pet basilisk is cool. When anyone gets in my room, my pet basilisk will look at them and they will become one of my favorite statues."
Effective, but a little creepy.
Talk about effective, right?
Well, I wouldn't recommend a basilisk as a pet,
Probably not.
but it's certainly a creature that inspires both fear and fascination.
Right.
That deadly gaze taps into a primal fear of the unknown and the power of a single irreversible action.
Yeah. It's interesting how many of these creatures have connections to reptiles.
That's true.
Dragons, the hydra, the basilisk, like they tap into some deep-seated fascination, maybe even a fear of these cold-blooded creatures.
You're right. Reptiles have been around for millions of years, predating humans by a long shot.
Right.
They embody a sense of ancient power, and their often venomous nature adds an element of danger and mystery.
Right.
It's no wonder they've made their way into mythology across cultures.
From the fearsome gaze of the basilisk, we take flight with a creature of pure grace and wonder.
Okay.
At number 9, it's Pegasus, the winged horse of Greek mythology known for its connection to the Muses and its role as the bearer of Zeus's thunderbolts.
Pegasus is a symbol of inspiration, freedom, and the divine.
Yeah.
His ability to fly represents transcendence, soaring above earthly limitations.
Yeah.
And his connection to the muses links him to creativity and artistic pursuits.
And last but not least, rounding out the top 10, we have a creature that needs no introduction.
Okay.
The vampire. Forever shrouded in an aura of mystery and allure, the vampire continues to captivate us with its blend of seduction, danger, and immortality.
The vampire myth has truly stood the test of time, hasn't it?
Yeah.
From terrifying creatures of the night to more romanticized and even sympathetic figures in modern literature and film.
Right.
Vampires continue to hold a strange fascination for us.
The list describes them as having an insatiable thirst for blood with classic weaknesses like sunlight, garlic, and stakes to the heart.
The classics.
One user sums it up perfectly, saying, Count Dracula is an insanely good example of how awesome vampires are.
Agreed.
Speaking of awesome, I'd be remiss not to mention a couple of heated debates that were raging in the comments section.
Yeah, let's hear them.
First up, it's Kraken versus Leviathan.
Yes. Two titans of the deep.
Right.
Both the Kraken and the Leviathan are colossal sea monsters.
Yeah.
But their origins and depictions differ.
Okay.
The Kraken is typically associated with Norse mythology, while the Leviathan has roots in biblical and Hebraic traditions.
One user even asks, I'm sorry, but how is the Kraken higher than the Leviathan on this list?
Someone's a Leviathan fan.
Clearly, the Leviathan has some passionate fans. Now, another creature causing a stir is Bigfoot, with one user boldly stating,
Okay.
Sasquatches are 100% real, and I will not be changing this belief.
Wow.
What is it about creatures like Bigfoot that spark such strong conviction?
Bigfoot, or Sasquatch, is a fascinating example of a cryptid.
Okay.
A creature whose existence is suggested but not scientifically proven.
Right.
I think the enduring belief in Bigfoot speaks to our fascination with the unknown.
Yeah.
The possibility that there are still undiscovered creatures lurking in the shadows of our world.
Yeah.
It's that sense of mystery and wonder that keeps the legend alive.
All right, now that we've explored the top 10,
Okay.
are you ready to venture into the realm of newcomers and contenders?
Absolutely. Let's see what other mythical creatures are vying for a spot in our imaginations.
First up, from the silver screen to the mythical beast list,
Okay.
we have the Diosculos. This two-headed dog was featured in the film Clash of the Titans,
Okay.
bringing a lesser-known creature from Greek mythology to a wider audience.
It's interesting how films can introduce us to more obscure creatures and spark our curiosity to learn more about their origins and stories.
Next, we have a creeple that sends shivers down my spine, Cthulhu. This cosmic entity, created by writer H.P. Lovecraft, has become a symbol of cosmic horror,
Right.
representing the vastness and indifference of the universe and humanity's insignificance in the face of cosmic entities.
Cthulhu is a fascinating case because while it's a fictional creation,
Yeah.
it has gained a life of its own,
Right.
inspiring countless works of horror and fantasy.
Yeah.
It taps into our primal fears of the unknown, the vastness of the cosmos, and the possibility of ancient, powerful entities lurking beyond our comprehension.
Okay, moving on to the contenders category. We have a classic creature that's half human, half horse.
Right.
The centaur. One user draws a comparison to pop culture, saying, good appearance of a centaur in the series, a Xena, warrior princess.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
It's interesting how these mythical creatures pop up in our favorite shows and movies, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It shows how these myths have permeated our entertainment and become part of a shared cultural language.
Right.
The centaur in particular embodies a fascinating duality,
Yeah.
representing the conflict between our rational and animalistic sides.
From the wild nature of the centaur, we shift to a creature known for its cunning and shape-shifting abilities,
Okay.
the kitsune. This mischievous fox from Japanese mythology is often depicted as a trickster capable of assuming human form and manipulating those around it.
The kitsune is a fascinating example of a shapeshifter in mythology.
Yeah.
Its ability to take on different forms, often human,
Right.
links it to themes of illusion transformation and the blurring of boundaries between the natural and supernatural worlds.
And one user even breaks down the different types of kitsune, saying there are 13 different kinds of kitsune, each with a corresponding element listed as follows: heaven, void, wind, spirit, fire, earth, river, ocean, mountain, forest, thunder, time, and sound.
It's like a mythical Pokemon roster.
It really is.
The kitsune's diverse nature makes it a particularly captivating creature,
Yeah.
embodying a range of powers and characteristics that have resonated with people for centuries.
Right. Speaking of creatures that resonate, Remember the Leviathan, our colossal sea monster contender?
Oh yeah, the one with the passionate fan base who felt it deserved a higher ranking.
Exactly. It's often portrayed as a serpentine or whale-like creature of immense size and power,
Right.
representing the untamed forces of nature.
Up next, we have a creature trapped in a labyrinth. The
Okay.
Minotaur. With its bull head and human body, the Minotaur embodies a monstrous appetite and a tragic fate.
Yeah, the Minotaur is a reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and the consequences of our actions.
Right.
It's a creature that inspires both pity and terror, a symbol of our own inner conflicts and the potential for darkness within us all.
From the labyrinth, we encounter a dragon-like creature with a venomous twist.
Ooh.
The Wyvern. Now, this one sparked a debate in the comments, with some users proclaiming their love for wyverns, specifically because they're like dragons, but really not.
I see that.
The wyvern is often depicted as a smaller, two-legged dragon, typically with a venomous tail. It's
Yeah.
a fascinating example of how dragon mythology has branched out, creating distinct types of dragon-like creatures with unique abilities and characteristics.
One user even breaks down their powers, saying, Wyverns are strong dragons that come in 3 powers: lightning, poisoning, and fire.
It sounds like a formidable opponent in any fantasy battle.
It really does. Speaking of battles, our next creature's wail is said to herald an ending. And we are back for the final part of our mythical beast extravaganza.
I'm ready for more mythical mayhem.
All right, so at number 11, we encounter a creature whose mournful cries are said to be an omen of death.
Oh boy, this sounds intense.
It's the banshee. This wailing spirit from Irish folklore is often depicted as a woman with long flowing hair and a sorrowful expression.
The banshee is a really fascinating figure in mythology.
Yeah.
Her cries are often seen as a harbinger of death.
Right?
But in some interpretations, she's also seen as a protector,
Oh, interesting.
a guardian spirit watching over a particular family or clan.
Now, from the haunting cries of the banshee, we journey to the frozen wastelands where a creature of legend roams.
All right, I'm intrigued.
At number 12, it's the Yeti. Also known as the abominable snowman, this large, hairy humanoid creature is said to inhabit the Himalayas.
The Yeti is another great example of a cryptid, a creature whose existence hasn't been scientifically confirmed,
Yeah.
but whose legend persists.
And one user even makes a pop culture connection saying Yeti from Super Scribblenauts is pretty cute.
That's adorable. It's interesting how these creatures can be reimagined in more lighthearted ways.
Right. Okay, up next, we have a creature that's a bit of a trickster.
All right, I love a good trickster.
At number 13, it's the chupacabra. This cryptid is said to inhabit parts of the Americas and is known for its alleged habit of attacking and draining the blood of livestock.
The chupacabra is a relatively recent addition to the world of mythical creatures,
Yeah.
but it's quickly gained notoriety.
And the descriptions of the chupacabra vary widely, with some witnesses describing it as a reptilian creature, while others claim it's more canine in appearance.
That ambiguity is part of what makes the chupacabra so intriguing.
Right, it's like a blank canvas for our imaginations.
Exactly.
Okay, from blood-sucking creatures to a creature of pure power.
Right.
At number 14, it's the golem. This creature, made from inanimate matter like clay or stone, is often depicted as a servant or protector brought to life through magical means.
The golem is a really interesting creature because it raises questions about the nature of life and consciousness.
Yeah.
Can something created from inanimate matter truly be alive?
And one user even suggests video game crossover, saying we need more golems in Minecraft.
That would be pretty epic. Imagine building your own golem army to defend your Minecraft creations.
And finally, rounding out our list of contenders at number 15 is a creature that's both beautiful and deadly.
Okay, let's hear it.
It's the siren. These enchanting creatures from Greek mythology are known for their alluring voices, which they use to lure sailors to their doom.
The siren is a classic example of a creature that embodies temptation and danger.
Yeah.
Their beauty and their voices are irresistible, but they lead to destruction.
So we've explored the top 10 mythical beasts and delved into the realm of newcomers and contenders. What a wild ride it's been.
It really has been. We've encountered fire-breathing dragons, shape-shifting creatures, and even a few cryptids along the way.
It's amazing to see how these ancient myths and legends continue to captivate us, inspire us, and even spark some friendly debates.
I think you're right. These creatures aren't just figments of our imagination. They're reflections of ourselves, our cultures, and our shared human experience.
Absolutely. And whether you're a die-hard dragon enthusiast, a believer in Bigfoot, or simply fascinated by the endless possibilities of myth and folklore, I think we can all agree that the world of mythical beasts continues to hold a special place in our hearts and minds.
It's a world that invites us to explore, to question, and to embrace the power of imagination.
And to our listeners, we encourage you to check out the top tens list for yourselves. Explore the comments and see which creatures resonate most strongly with you.
You might even discover a new favorite mythical beast along the way.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and never stop believing in the power of imagination.